Alrighty, this is Teresa, and I'm so excited to have you all here. Today we are talking about energy and emotions in business. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a different call for some of you. A lot of you guys that are here already, you know me, you know the work, but if you're new, this might be something that's like, I never thought of that. And what I've discovered is one of the things I love, love, love to do is to give people hope. I love to be the voice that says, oh, I know you've tried everything else. Let me show you something you might not have tried. Because it's maddening, absolutely maddening to have spent thousands of dollars and spent so much of your time and energy and money and going, didn't really get what I wanted, right? And so very often, the things that I can show you are actually the pieces that, if you get them right, can make a difference. We're good? All right, and so again, if you're watching live and I hear some background, I'm just going to ask you to, why don't just everybody, how about just everybody mute for now? Because the sound is getting a little fuzzy. Perfect, perfect. All right, so what you can expect on this call is I'm going to go between teaching and live experience. There's only one slide, and the one slide I'm going to show you is basically going to say, hey, if you want to work with me, here's where to go. That's it. I do have notes. I'll be really transparent. I got some notes here because I want to make sure I cover everything that I want to tell you. But the work is going to be a combination of, I'll be teaching a point, and then I'll break in and I'll work with the people live. So if you are on live, lucky girls, because you get the work, right? So the cool part is every time I do a class like this, it's all different, based on who the people are, based on the energy and the intuition. And so very often everybody gets kind of coached and worked on and cleared. It's very cool. And so if you're watching this later, even that if you're not here, you're gonna get something, because I'm gonna give you tools. Very often when I do the work, somebody will be like, oh my God, I totally related to her. Or when you did that clearing with her, it cleared on me too. So it's kind of the power of doing it in a group that's very magical. All right, so here's where I'm going to start. Imagine you have a house with a basement. Now, living in Arizona, I don't think we have them. We don't have that much rain. We don't have stuff. I don't know why people have basements. I'm a native, never had a basement house. So imagine you go in and there's 3 feet of water in said basement, and you come up the stairs and you're like, I don't even know what to do. I'm going to call my boyfriend. And you go, Scott, it's my cute boyfriend. Scott, what do I do? What do I do? And Scott says, I feel like you need to like clean up your yard, because like if you trimmed your rose bushes and cut back those hedges, when people drove up, your house would look so much more appealing. And you kind of go, okay. And then you call your friend Janet and you're like, okay, I got to have a resource. I don't know what the heck to do here. This is crazy. And Janet says, you know, your living room needs some better feng shui because it is really stagnant energy. And so I feel like if we put some like candles and some pillows, it'll really change. And then that way people, when they're sitting in your house, they'll just feel better. Now, you would be looking at those people like, okay, those are great solutions, but what about the water? Because the shit's stinking. What about the water? Right? So that's exactly what most of us do in business. There's a problem inside. There's a problem underground. There's a problem in the dark that you can't see that gets stinky, but we want to go trim hedges and add candles and get new followers and become an Instagram influencer and master Facebook ads. Not that those are not important. Those are super important. But if you don't attend to the stuff on the inside, not so great stuff happens, right? And that's my work. Okay, so I want you to think about, like, what is it that business owners, like, what do they need to learn to do? So I want you to type in the chat right here. What do you think the main things of being a business owner must be? The main tasks. And we'll read these in a second because this is important. And you at home, think about it too. Connect with clients. Absolutely. You've got to get clients. Sure. What else? Anybody else? I'm going to make you work. I should probably just let you just all talk here. Great service. Absolutely. You want to give good service? make money, help and serve clients, right? Well, showing up every day, consistency, doing something every day to move you in the direction and be profitable. Those are awesome. And what I say is, you also, and this is tied in now, so yours are kind of the being loving. Oh, I love that. There's the what you have to master, and there's the also the who you have to be, right? So what I say is, you have to learn to stop unconsciously pushing money away. Now, I'll raise my hand. I'm sure I've done that like 9 million times. That's something, Liz, raise your hand. We've all done it. Because it should be easy, right? You do good work. I know most of you on the call, you do great work. You get people in front of you, you service them, you get to get what, right? Why the hell doesn't it work, right? You also need to learn to own your value. I don't think anybody said that, right? So at the core, that stinky stuff in the basement, that's this. Why are you not owning your value? Why are you not making more? Why are you not charging more? Why are you not more of an expert? That's another thing that must be mastered. Obviously, you need to learn to sell, get visible. The thing you also need to learn is to stop collapsing. No, nobody said that here either. So when I say stop collapsing, here's what I mean. Have you ever had it where you're like totally rocking it? You're just like, okay, I've got this market. Like many times I'll work on strategy with my clients and it's so great. And then they come back later and they're like, I got the little doubts in my head, or, I get really distracted, or I don't know if that's such a great idea. So that pattern of collapsing when things don't seem to go how you want it to go, that's a killer, right? And so again, I'm just showing you places that in addition to the externals of your business, this is what you also need to learn. Anybody have any questions on that one? And you can talk if you want. If you want to just unmute yourself, feel free to talk. I feel strange that you're all so quiet. I'm like, don't have background sound. Why aren't you talking to me? So if at any point you want to ask a question, just unmute yourself. Okay. All right. And the most important thing is you focus on your being. And a lot of these, you guys did really great things. Connect with clients, sell stuff, have great service. A lot of that is your being. Okay. So let me just go a little bit deeper on this. As I talked about in my analogy of the basement, which I think is a fabulous analogy because it really depicts how we miss the problem. What most people that I work with do, they focus on the wrong thing. It's like, I just need to get more leads. I just need to make more money. I just need to, and yes, but what if those things aren't the cause? And sometimes if you don't fix the right thing, we've all heard of the lottery people that make millions and then lose it 3 months or 3 years later, right? So if you don't fix what's inside of you, you literally are repelling your good. Hashtag not on my watch. That's not what I want for y'all, right? So one of the things I always will talk about, so these are just kind of some of the basics that we're going to get started with here. I always say is your brain is not your friend. Say it with me. My brain is not my friend. So part of what happens when we, quote, collapse, part of what happens when we hear the doubt voices or the fear voices is that our brain fires off the messages that we just go, oh no, oh wait. So if anybody, okay, Liz, we're gonna just go do some public speaking. Just make some cold calls. Pick up the phone. You're worth it, damn it. Come on, sister. And right now, you can open your line for a second. What's your brain telling me? Because I think you put a post like fear of the unknown, or you put a post recently. What does your brain tell you when somebody gives you encouragement to step up and own the shit out of who you are? What is you? Just give me some of those thoughts.
Oh, hell no.
It is really clear. Oh, hell no.
Nope, not, and I actually like public speaking, but make a cold call? Oh, for heaven's sakes, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either, but so I would never do that really, but yeah. Okay, so I just want to get when somebody or just do something bigger or a bigger, more bold proclamation of your expertise. What does your brain say?
Yeah, right. Uh-huh. I'll try. Maybe.
Yeah. And as a result of that, what happens to you?
I don't take action, or I take minimal action,
Right.
or I self-sabotage.
Right. So your brain is basically running the show for you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and thank you for that. Thanks for being so real. So that's a perfect example. I know Liz, she's brilliant. And I'm like, fuck you, brain of Liz. Stop it. Stop treating her that way. And we get Trees fully self-expressed this morning because that's what we do. Not on my watch is your brain gonna mess with this woman. And what I mean by that is, let me just give you some context if you don't know. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, small, and stuck. Your brain is wired because back in the cave days, and I know my clients are like, I've heard this before, but you've got to understand this piece. Back in the cave days, when things were jumping out at you, your brain had to be constantly scanning the environment and going, oh shit, that could happen, that's not gonna work. You better, like, super vigilant, right? So we always wander out in the world like just jacked up, like, okay, that could happen. And if he said, oh, like that, how the heck do you get through a day with a brain that tells you constantly all the things that could go wrong, constantly all the risks, all the danger? Now, normally if I would can I work with you, Liz? Can I go a little bit deeper with this? Okay. So I'm just going to do a really quick demonstration. So I told you the context. Your brain is not your friend, and you must understand that. That is imperative, because most of us, and what she said is, I hear that, and then I self-sabotage, or I hear that, or so I just do the minimal. So it's as if this brain thing has so much freaking power, right? That instead of saying, how adorable, oh, it's just my brain, oh, you're so cute, you're adorable, but there's nothing jumping out today. Really, we're good. Shh, now lay down. But we listen. If you don't know that your brain literally is wired, what happens will either go, well, it's saying this to me, so therefore it could be right, or you just don't even know another way. Okay, so Liz, I'm going to ask you to do this. Tell me. Oh, I'm going to mute. Okay, tell me. What is the fear? Now, I want you all to watch this because she's doing the demonstration, but in every demonstration, I'm doing a teaching technique with you, right? Because what happens for Liz is that she gets an idea or an assignment from a coach, do this. And she's like, a yes, because unconsciously, so here's what you need to know, 90% of what runs you is unconscious. That really sucks. The work I do is basically to say, when you have awareness, you have a choice. So we got to get aware out of the unconscious what the scary thing is. So Liz consciously says, heck yeah, that's a great initiative. I'm going to do that. And then her brain, responding to the potential threat, because it's new, so then the brain kicks in and Liz just crumbles away, right? Mm-hmm. So I want you to go deeper. What is the fear? Like,
I'll do it wrong.
Okay, and so now watch. Here's one technique. Run it all the way through. Most of us don't do that. Most of you go, we hear, I'll do it wrong, and you're like, you're right. Oh God, I'm so sorry. What was I thinking? That would be terrible. And then we just stop. We collapse. Okay, so we're gonna go. I'll do it wrong, and then what?
I'll do it wrong, and then I'll screw up, and people will know how dumb I am.
Okay, and then what?
And I'll fail.
And then what?
I won't have any income.
Okay, and then what?
And people will make fun of me.
Right, and then what? And what would that mean if they make fun? So, wow, she is so dumb, and they're making fun of you, and she's a failure, she has no income. What does that mean?
Ugh, I don't like sitting in all this. It means I'm worthless.
And if you're worthless, then what?
Nobody will love me.
And if you're not loved, then what?
Why am I here?
Boom. Right there. Do y'all get that? It's literally an existence issue. Like literally you could die, or literally you don't even deserve to be here. Do you see? So it's not just oh, I might not get that client, or I might, do you understand the core of that for Liz? And Liz, just take a breath. I know. And you are the demonstration, but you're not the only one. So did you notice what happened? Because now now you have you can't not know now. Now you know there's a part of me that literally my very existence is at stake here. So no wonder I freaking back down. No wonder I don't pick up the phone. Because like A, in your brain, A will equal B.
Mm-hmm.
If I show up, then I'll be rejected and not loved. And there's an instant correlation. But here's the thing. One great Byron Katie question. Is it true?
No.
How can you know it's not true?
Because I failed before and I'm still here.
Okay.
Because I've never acted on the impulse of, I don't want to be here anymore.
Exactly. Nice. But did you see with her, now what's changing in your energy? When you said, I failed before, but I'm still here. I've never acted on it. What's changing in your energy right now?
Oh.
What do you notice about yourself?
Well, I'm still feeling pretty heavy.
It is heavy.
With all of that. I mean, physically, it's all right here.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. So let's go a little bit deeper. So I started this demonstrating one concept, and the one concept is your brain's not your friend. On one hand, her brain thinks it's saving her from, perishing. And so it's being a great little guard dog. And one strategy to flip that, because everybody has this, is basically say, now, hold on. Is that true? Kind of sounds like bullshit. Maybe not true. Maybe at one point I felt that. Is it true? Will you really die if you don't get this client? Will you really die if you step up and be bolder? Probably not. And can you live with if people think you're stupid? Can you live with if people see you fail? So number one, is it true? And number two, can you live with the thing that you fear the most? When you can shift that, you take the power away from it. Y'all relate to this? Okay. Now this 2 second parts that I was going to work on. Now I work with a pendulum, and that just kind of helps me tune into the energy. Okay. So the other part is, very often when we have extreme feelings or we have stuff, they're not even ours. And that's the case for you, my dear. So this thing, I'm a huge fan of working with the body. So when Liz is like, oh, it's right here, the next thing you do is you go right there and you just go. So just ask your body,
okay,
is this mine, yes or no? Feel that feeling.
No.
There we go. Now let me show you how much this is affecting you. More than 50, more than 60, more than 70, 80, 90. It's 100%. She is gripped by an emotion, and it's kind of a shitty one. It's not a positive experience. She's 100% gripped by an emotion that isn't even hers. Now that's what I've realized lately. Whew. And is this, yeah, okay. So this is an ancestral thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a field called epigenetics that is so fascinating to me. Like, I've inherited the family teeth and the family, bad Irish skin, and like there's things that the traits that we bring in with our DNA. Do you know we also bring in trauma? We also bring in struggle. We also bring in everything emotional and energetic that our ancestors lived with generations back. It is also carried into the DNA. And the study of epigenetics is they actually are discovering they can switch off or flip off the DNA so it is no longer there. And for you, my dear, this is the case. Whew, hold on. It's maternal?
Mm-hmm.
You knew that? Okay.
I did.
Yeah. Okay, this is really deep. All right, so here, let me just tune in. Okay, I want you to give it back to them. I'm just here and do anything else. No, just give it back to them. So I want you to imagine that whatever that is. Now, if I was working with her privately, I would ask, do we need to know more? There's a little bit more depth there. But for the sake of this demonstration, I just want you to literally imagine you take that and whatever that is, their suffering, their struggle, anything else, And you're going to turn around. Imagine if you can face them, the ancestors that distributed this DNA trauma in you, and say, I love you, I bless you, I honor you. And I release this back to you. I choose not to carry this anymore. That's right. There we go. I claim my good now. How's that feeling?
It was very emotional.
Yeah.
You want the name of it? It was sad, except they took it back.
Ooh, okay. So this is going to process for you a little bit, but imagine if that was no longer there. What's possible? Just fast forward into what's possible.
I would stop self-sabotage.
Okay. Instead of stopping self-sabotaging, what are you going to do instead?
I would take action.
So
I will take
action. I am taking action. I easily take action.
Yeah, all of those. I will be effective. I will be energized. I will.
Okay. How about speak as say I am.
I am. Okay. I am energized. I am effective. I am taking action. I am successful.
Beautiful. Ooh, now how does that feel in your body?
Less heavy.
Less heavy.
There's less here.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, can we just give her a little shout out, a little kiss? Good job. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if you guys want to call and if you want to put like notes to Liz, that feel free to do that. That's lovely. So a lot of things that happen on these calls are unscripted, and yet it's a great teaching point. Did you notice that what started with my brain is telling me this ended up with, and the reason I am so held back is because of the ancestral stuff. Now, when I work with people, I clear them, but did you notice at the end I was working with her on, okay, how do we embody that for you? Like if I was working with her more regularly, it's like, okay, but you're not this girl anymore. You're this one. How do you show up, right? So it's not just getting a quick clearing. It's, okay, how do I live into that? If this is my new set point, because here's the thing, our brains are wired, right? Not only are your brains not your friend, but they are wired to default. So the default for you, Liz, you're going to step up in your brains and it's like literally they're called neural pathways. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do. The only way to get rid of it, the magic of the brain is a thing called neuroplasticity. We actually can create new pathways. So you must prune over here. So prune is when you get that thought of, oh, it's just like a plant. I have this like really sad plant in my corner here. I suck as a plant owner. In this office, I always forget this damn plant. And it's like there's dying leaves. It's like horrible. I'm sucking as a plant owner here. And shortly, if I stop watering it, what's going to happen? It's going. So you stop watering. So instead of like, oh my God, there's a thought, and you feed it and you dance with it and you fight it, you just go, like I said earlier, that's right. That's my brain doing my brain thing. What would I prefer instead? I'm safe. I got this. This is mine to do. And sometimes if you don't believe in you, you just go, well, Therese believes in me. My clients used to say, what would Therese say? Therese would tell me to get out there and do it, right? So you want to create a new neural pathway, and after X amount of time, this thing will not be the default anymore. This is the new default. Does that make sense? Okay, take a breath. Liz, you all right? Okay, fabulous. And Kay says, I just read a fabulous book. It didn't start with you. How Inherited Family Trauma Shapes Who You Are and How to End the Cycle by Mark Wolin. Sounds exactly. There's so much hope for us. So the first, remember, when you have awareness, you have choice. Now we know, right? Now Liz has an awareness. Anytime she hears that thought, she can go, wait, that's not even true. I don't have to do that. Okay. Any questions? Y'all can jump in and have a question. Okay. So how do you know? Like, I want to I want you, and you guys take your phones off mute if you want. What are some signs, like tangible signs, that you see that you can go, oh shit, I think I got a problem here? You know what I mean? Like what do you see that you can say? And I want y'all at home to notice. Like for me, one of my signs is clutter. When suddenly I'm like, it looks like a mentally ill person lives here. Like, why do we have this looking this way? That's a sign to me that my inner environment might be needing a little something, because my external environment is kind of lost of control, right? So what are signs for you that you can point to? Again, remember, when you have awareness, you have choice. Because most of us, unfortunately, with women, we tolerate. It's not that bad. Oh, it's okay. I can handle it. And I want you to like stop tolerating shit. So that at the first sign of like a little off kilter, you're redirecting, course correcting. Okay, what are your signs?
Mine is being in a fog or feeling very tired, like I can't do anything.
Wow, that's a great one. Okay, perfect.
Mine is feeling tired, just want to go back to bed.
Yes, tired. That's a good one. Okay, pretty much. Interesting.
Procrastination and creative avoidance.
Oh, Kate, good. There's Leah. Hi, darling. Good to see your face.
Hello. I'm going to add insomnia, not taking action, generally wanting to hide or curl up in fetal position.
Yeah, good. Anybody else?
For me, it's always the start-stop. Like the start. Yeah, that's my number one.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. So what I've written is, and those are so good. And you need to know, what is my warning sign? What's the thing? Like, I think I've shared this before. You guys know this one if you've been watching me a while. I used to be an addictions counselor, and we would work with people that absolutely, relapsing addicts and alcoholics. And so if July 1st, John has a drink, we say, you didn't relapse July 1st. Because it was a progression. There's a concept called a relapse progression. You didn't just stick a needle in your arm or drink in your mouth or have sex or gamble or whatever your thing is on July 1st. Gradually things started declining. And so if you go, wait, okay, I'm super tired, you didn't just slip there. So what you do is you just go, and what happened before? So like with John, the addict, I'd say, okay, so before that drink, well, I noticed I stopped calling my sponsor. And then what else? Well, then I stopped going to meetings. And then what else? Then I started eating like shit. And then what else? Well, then I started getting a bunch of resentments. And then what? And then I started fantasizing about, you know what I mean? And so literally we would have them take 3x5 cards and write each symptom down. Y'all can do this at home. You don't have to be drug addicts and alcoholics to do it, because we all relapse. And so you take your progression and you say, so what's the order? What happens first? Did you get angry first, or did you get in fear first? Oh, I got a lot of fear first. Okay. And then because of that, did you then shut down? See what I mean? So you literally can map out. So if down here, if the relapse is a 10, we can stop you at a 3 if you're like, oh shit, I'm tipping. You don't have to like be, crash and burn before you go, I got a little off course maybe. You can, again, course correct. Does that make sense? Okay. So frustration, working not with the wrong people. How many of you have, none of you guys today, but in the past, years and years ago, I didn't work with the right people. And we've all had those experiences of just maybe taking money just to get money in the door, or we're desperate, or worse, we're codependent and can't say no, or feel like, but I should help them because I can help them. Don't even get me started on that one, sisters, because there is the divine person you're supposed to work with. They're your people. And I could help anybody with a pulse, but do I really want to? It's really hard to market to people, just anyone with a pulse. It's really hard to market there, right? You don't buy lists. Give me any living person in Scottsdale, Arizona. That makes no sense. Overwhelm. Sometimes another sign is hitting that plateau where you're like, God, no matter what I do, I keep That's a sign. So what I'm showing you is these are all indicators of the unconscious stuff going on. Sales falling off, fear, doubt, losing money. I've literally people like, that's weird, I lost a check. I've done that one before. And the infamous start stop. That's what Lauren talked about, that I speak into so much, is like this start stop thing is such an indicator, especially if you get like really fired up, you're like gonna get your coaching, you're all set, I got a plan, oh shit. Or the dog's sick, or I sprained my ankle. That was mine. So mine, there's a great book called The Big Leap. I don't know if y'all know that one. Fabulous book. And it talks about the upper limit problem. He's just a brilliant author. You should read The Big Leap. And what he says is, very often, like we hit here, we're going, and we cannot blast through that upper limit. So something happens. So for me, I would come home, I'd be at an event, and okay, this is my plan. And I'd come home and I'd sprain my ankle. I can't do my thing now because I got a sprained ankle. Or the dog pulled me on the leash and I yanked my back. Or the kid. And are we powerful enough to have this happen? Hell yeah, we are. Hell yeah, we are. And so, again, I don't want to get into, oh no, I'm bad because I caused that. It's just an awareness of, okay, and are you going to let that stop you, or can you be unstoppable? Okay, so I want to talk about like 3 areas that this emotion energy conundrum affects your business. And the first one is visibility. So I speak about a concept like there's a difference between being visible and being seen. You might have heard me speak about that before. So being visible is anybody can be visible. You can put a bunch of ads, you can put your stuff out there, you can put articles, you can be very visible. Like, how many of those marketers that send you 7 emails a week, they're freaking visible. The difference though, are you being seen? Do you understand that distinction? I think that's a really important one. I can be visible, but not be seen. And most of the people that I work with are really heart-centered. They're mission-driven, right? And when they're selling themselves, if you were selling you, it's a whole different thing. Like if I'm selling an insurance, I could just show you the product. I'm not being seen. I'm showing you my product, right? Here's a product, boom, 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 boom. But if you were selling yourself, and every single one on the phone right now, and usually people in my tribe, we are the product. And when you are the product, those little voices, what are people gonna think? Holy shit, they're gonna know. They're gonna know. And then what? And then you're gonna die, right? It's that slope. And so what I have found is that there's reasons, like one of a story that happened recently. So let me just back up. Most of you know me, but some of you might not, right? So I was a psychotherapist for bunches of years, master's degree. I worked as a therapist for bunches and bunches of years. And then I sort of landed in life coaching, and that's not that much of a jump. And then I went to a networking group, and this was in 2004, probably. And I got on a newsletter, and they sent me their little newsletter that said business coaches wanted. And for some reason, my little hands were on the keyboard, and I was like applying to be a business coach. And the funny part is I have a criminal justice background, bachelor's degree, and a master's in counseling, master's degree, did therapy work for years. Y'all didn't hear business in there, right? like when somebody would say P&L, I would like, I don't know what you're speaking of. Like I had never worked in business, never took a business class, never read a business book. And suddenly I'm working as a business coach because I got hired, and I'm getting cold calls. Liz, I had cold calls of business owners that I had to call and go, hi, can I give you a coaching session? Again, I'd never helped a business, had no idea what the fuck I was doing, but I was scrappy. I knew how to learn, what the heck, and I had really good mentoring. That's how I started, right? And so to come through the ranks, not having any background and having a bunch of codependency and a bunch of all these issues, everything I talk about, I've overcome it. How do you think I have the knowing, right? But I was just relying on, then I was a marketing strategist, and then I learned really good how to do marketing and sales and packaging and copywriting and all the things. But I had this like secret that I was like super intuitive and connected and I knew shit. And I thought, oh, it's because I just was a therapist. And I'm like, no, I'm knowing stuff that I don't know. And I'm hearing in my head going, it's a past life. It's a curse. You can clear it. And I'm like, what? And it took me years to embrace like, oh, okay. I like, it used to scare me. And I was afraid if I said I'm a healer or I pick up my pendulum, I literally was afraid they would, take me away, kill me, shame me. I would just be laughed out of town because what kind of a business coach uses a pendulum? Turns out a good one. And what I have discovered is the magic today, because I have all the business background, I think marketing is not that hard. A lot of people know how to do marketing or they can find how to do marketing, but they can't find what's wrong with them. And I'm not trying to make anybody broken, but I say those other gurus can show you how they made 7 figures, but they can't tell you why you can't. Right? Because they got a formula. They know it worked for them, but I know why it's not working for you, and I can show you the way. So what I started doing is I literally can say, okay, you're blocked, you want more visibility, and I literally can tune in, and this is a true story, so I can tune in and I can get the exact age that the block is. And one of the coolest stories, I met a woman, and she was on one of these calls, and I adore this woman. I feel like her energy is just off the charts, and I just feel so positive about her. But she wasn't successful in her business. She was really struggling. She was struggling to even be on the map. She was struggling to speak what she wanted. Again, she's so powerful, but when she puts it in business, she's like, and so I just do the like, okay, and I tune in. I'm like, what happened to you? What was your birth story? Because I was guided, something happened at birth. And she said, I was born basically with my hands out. I came out finger first. And I really messed up my mom. It was terrible on my mom. And so this beautiful woman decided, her fetal self decided, when I show up, people get hurt. So let's talk about that. If that is the underpinning of who you are, if that is in the foundation of your very being, how much are you going to be visible? How much are you going to stand up and say, hi, you need to know me. Hi, let me in. Hi. And when I cleared that, the awareness was so freaking profound. And when I cleared it for her, boom, the next week she's got a business. Boom, the next week she knows who she's serving. Boom. It was just like her whole world shifted. And for all those years, and she's in her 50s probably. And I said, has this affected you in relationships? Has this affected like every single freaking area of her life? We could pinpoint to something that she had no idea about. So that's an example of like, that's how it works with visibility. I don't know about you, but I think that's kind of a cool story. It just goes like, holy shit. Does anybody want to say anything or have any questions or comments or feedback? No, we're good?
No, I do. I mean, I think this is so cool. I'm thrilled that you're doing this and that you're owning the gifts that you have.
Thank you. Thank you, love.
Because I know I'm not the only one that needs more of this, because I can already tell, even though we did the work just now, I can feel all of that. Just, I gave it back and now they're giving it back. Yeah. If that makes any sense. It's like, oh yeah, that's still there. I still feel that. So yeah, I can see where this is like a very layered thing.
Right. Do you want to do a little bit more?
Oh, if you want to work with other people, I don't want to take up the whole thing. This was just my awareness of, oh yeah, it's back.
Okay. Hold on. Do I have your permission to go in a little bit more?
You do. I just didn't want to be the only one doing stuff.
Take a breath.
Okay.
Okay. So, very often, so remember I said there's brains, the neural pathways and the ruts and the default, but for what it is for Liz, it's a part of you. So it's either, when I identify these things, it's either it's yours, like this is yours, this is your belief, right? Sometimes it's, oh, you're carrying it for somebody else. I met a woman one time who had the most screwed up money story, and yet she was really powerful. She was really sassy and strong and powerful. And she had this really like, oh, I don't know, maybe if some man will give it to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, who just said that? That is not you. And I was brand new, and I'm like, wait, could that be your mother's, hon? Because that's not sounding like you. And she just was like, oh, it's totally my mother's. So sometimes we literally carry something. It's like their operating system gets deposited, and then we go through the world with somebody else's operating system. Those are pretty easy. Identify and give that back. But for you, there's a part of you. So find the part. Do you need me to give you an age? Yeah, an age. Hold on one second. What was going on when you were 15?
That's when I remembered that my brother abused me when I was a little girl. And I didn't remember until then.
And as a result, and I'm sorry that happened to you.
Thank you.
You didn't deserve that, and I'm sorry. So as a result of that, remembering and maybe speaking up, did you speak up?
No.
You didn't speak up. But as a result of that understanding, how did that change things for you? What did you decide about yourself?
That I was broken and worthless.
Right.
That I must have done something, even though a part of me was also very angry because I knew he had taken something from me and he had no right to do that.
Right. Okay, let's take a breath. And I want everybody here, just send her love. This is big stuff. Did you notice I went to the part that decided she was broken? You understand that? Are you following me here?
Mm-hmm.
So we initially had this stuff with the ancestors, the heaviness, and we got rid of that, but this part is still living under there. So that's why you're feeling it, because it's kind of the same energy, I'm assuming, or hopeless, broken, hopeless, right? So if that's in you, so we got the ancestors cleared, and if that was all, she'd feel like, oh my God, I feel so free. Yeah. But this revealed itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what needs to happen? Hold on. I want you to see her in front of you, see a 15-year-old girl, see the beautiful you back then. And I want you standing there in front of her, and in your arms you're holding a bucket. And I'm next to you, and any guide, if you want Mike or your puppies or your kitties or Superman or archangels, just bring any like legions of support with you. And we're just going to say to this little one, this is not your pain. This is not even true about you. And we want you to imagine, Liz, as you just allow her to let all that pain just fall out through her arms and into the bucket, so she doesn't have to carry it anymore. And notice what happens when she just lets it go. It's not even hers. We can just release this from her. It's not truth of her. There's nothing wrong with her. Somebody acted shamelessly, and she's carrying his shame. And we're just going to keep cleansing that, cleansing that, cleansing that, cleansing that. What's happening now?
She's looking at me incredulously.
What do you mean?
She's shocked that somebody cared.
Yeah. Lots of people care. If it feels comfortable to you, take her into your arms. And you can wrap me around the two of you, and you can wrap Mike in there and the cats and dogs, and just surround her in love. And she will never have to feel this again. She will never be victimized like this again. She's covered. How's that feeling?
Much better.
Okay, take a breath. Okay.
Thank you. you.
Everybody in the call, I just want just gonna send love to you right now because that was courageous. And I want you to notice how much this has affected your life. You can literally probably pinpoint everything to this decision about, I'm worthless, and all the struggle and all the under earning and all the setbacks, because you are brilliant and you should be farther. I want more for you, right? And maybe what if this was the one thing, the little hinge that we go, boom.
That would be awesome.
Let's call it. But notice now how your body feels.
Yeah, the heaviness that was here
Yeah.
is much lighter.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Now, again, I know I'm not even apologizing, but I love when you show me, said, I'm sorry. And I'm like, shh, stop. I follow energy. So I got a little agenda, but fuck the agenda. I'm not letting you go unattended when you open yourself up as much. So thank you for gifting us with the demonstration of the work, right? But do you see how this works, you guys? I mainly want you to understand that if you have stuff like that living in your body and your energy, you could spend $500,000 with Tony Robbins or get the best copywriters and the best everything in the world. But if that is your set point, if that's living in you, you're not going to get it, right? Or you'll get it in fits and starts, or it'll be hard. So this is the work. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just want to, I've got more. I'm going to talk about money. I'm going to give you a couple of techniques, but I want to show you actually, if I can do a little slide share. Hold on. I told you guys I would. I have one slide. One slide. There we go. Slideshow. There we go. So I have, what I'm doing right now is I'm filling a new mastermind for like end of September, early October. And so imagine working with 4 to 6 other women like this. This is what it would be like, except I won't be teaching, but 4 to 6 other women where we just go deep. And it's called the Unleash Your Purpose Mastermind, because my hypothesis is living in you is a big ass purpose. Living in you is like you have something you so want to get, but you have not achieved it. So I want to help you activate that. I want to help you, like the work I did with Liz, I guarantee if I have Liz for 6 months, oh sister, he'll be on fire, right? And so that's the kind of the work. So the goal is, what is your purpose? So here's my methodology. Align, clear, and embody. So we discover, what is that thing? What is it? Okay. And we help you really get super clear. Then we kind of map it out. Okay, that's what we're working for. Okay. Oh, what's in the way? And like when you had little children, you might have put like little water wings on. So we're going to kind of throw you in the pool, but you'll have water wings. You'll have me. You'll have your group, but you'll have the sisterhood of the women that are with you. So we have that. So you're working towards your purpose. And I guarantee you, the closer you get, the more shit that's going to be revealed, the more stuff that needs to be cleared. And then we get you embodied. And that means, okay, who do I have to be? How do I have to show up? Because invariably it's like this. The way I look at it, my work is, I know I'm just mixing so many metaphors here, but please forgive me. But if you think of when you take kids bowling, they have those things called bumpers. I love bumpers. The whole world should have bumpers. Those things that block the gutters. And so any ball that gets thrown has to hit the pins because there are bumpers. So I'm your bumper, right? You're gonna hit the pins. You can't be in the gutters. You can't be thrown over here because me and the group are your bumpers. So I also do private coaching. And so I'm offering 2 things right now. So one is a mastermind, and that's limited, like half the spots are taken. There's a few more spots left. Again, start in October, and you will get like 2-hour calls a month with the goal of moving you forward. And the other one is maybe you don't want to be, lots of people are like, well, some people are just like, I love the group, because there is something magical that happens in a group. Something like, I have a group right now, and it is, the women support each other so much. I create an amazing community, and it's just such a delight to be with these cool women. So some people want a group. Some people want, no, I just want you. I just want to do some coaching with you. And so what I've discovered is half-hour calls are just optimal. So we would start with a longer call, a strategy call, but then we can decide, do you want to just have 2 half hours? Do you want to have 3 half hours? You can pretty much decide. And so here's what you do. If you are interested, and there's no obligation, I don't hard sell. I'm not going to guilt you or do stupid shit to manipulate you. If it's the right fit, and we can work the money piece out. So you want to go to meetwiththerese.com, and there's a few options, and you would click on the connections call. Meetwiththerese.com, connections call, and that is where you will find a calendar appointment, ask a few questions, and then we'll book something. And so if you're interested, I would love to talk with you. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. So any questions? Before we go, so I'm going to talk about money and sales next. Any questions? Any feedback? So Lauren had to jump off. She says, love to Liz. Thank you. Everybody's thanking Liz. Alrighty. So sales. Woo! So sales is another place. That is probably a huge place as well. Money and sales money, sales, visibility. If you think about sales, ultimately what you have to do, you have to put yourself out there. You have to, it almost goes against the grain of everything we've been taught, right? You don't go up and ask people like, how much money do you make? Will you give me some? like if your kid did that, you would be like, stop it. You don't do that. We're proper people. You don't ask people for money and how much money they make, right? So if you think about selling, what you have to do, you must own your value in such a huge way. You have to understand so strongly in the work you provide, in the service you offer. I always say this is the number one piece money is made or broken. Broken? Made or lost, right here. This is going to make or break you. Now, what if you have what I call a conflicting intention? This is, remember I said earlier, there's the 90% of you that is unconscious and the 10% is conscious. And so what if in your unconscious, you had a thing that basically said something like, it's not safe to shine. People that talk about themselves are arrogant and we don't like them. Women don't make money. You can't be rich and spiritual at the same time. Don't be a bother. Always give first. It's better to give than to receive. What if you had that just hanging out in your unconscious? And then you start working with me and I'm like, okay, let's go have some selling conversations. Go, go, go. And the party that wants to help is like, okay, I can do this. I can make money. I can have a successful business. But then that little thing, one of those little voices creeps up, but it's unconscious, so you don't know it. That's called a conflicting intention. For example, one with women that I see a lot with children, I've seen, like, I really want to be successful, but what if I leave my kids? Like, what if I get so successful, I'm not as good of a mother? Or what if I get so successful, my partner doesn't like me? Or what if I make more money than my husband? Or what if I get so successful that money changes me? See, what happens then is we do this. Then the unconscious part comes in. It's called a conflicting intention. And whenever there's like, if you do this, then this negative unconscious thing can happen, that one always wins. So the work I do is to literally find what's the unconscious, and we uncover it. Okay, money. Money is such a huge one. Oh my gosh, money is like the biggest place it shows up. It's just loaded. It's loaded with value, with gender stuff, with just so much stuff. So I'll give you an example. And I can always tell, like, how you're being with money is I can literally just go, you're attracting money, yes and no. You deserve money, yes and no. Like, I can find the origins of it. A woman I worked with recently, this is the coolest story. She had said, I've never made more than $27,000 in my life, and I have both the desire for more money. I really want money, but then I have shame for that desire. I feel really guilty that I want money. So I've only made $27,000 my whole life, and I want more, but see that conundrum there? Conflicting intention, right? So she comes and she just is like, okay, if I could just make $2,000 a month right now. She's newer, kind of starting this new thing. So pick up my pendulum and I just go, ooh, okay, it's ancestral. It's 2 grandmothers back, or grandma's grandma. And she told me the most amazing story of what happened to the grandma. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but basically the grandma had made decisions around money that this woman was carrying, that money cost too much, that like money was bad, the typical stuff. It literally was, oh my God, this is the story and I'm taking it on. She had no idea. And so the work I did with her was, imagine the grandma's on the other side of the veil, because the grandma's not in physical form. And imagine that grandma gives you permission now. Imagine that grandma is like, blesses you and says, oh, I was totally wrong. Shit, don't take that on. No, you get full access to make as much money as you want. And the cool part is she had this infusion of love. Like she felt so just like, so then I talked to her 3 weeks later for our next appointment. And she said, oh, I guess I should tell you something. The situation changed for my husband, and we basically got $500,000. And she said, and that writing thing that I was going to do, that new business, I just got this contract. And I'm like, and I'm getting my calculator and I'm like, oh, so you'd be bringing in $2,000 a month? What you wanted? So she's a huge fan, like she's a massive fan of mine, obviously. But that's an example that one little, when I cleared it, woof. Now, can I say it brought in $500,000? I don't know. Maybe, but I can say that for sure she got the writing gig that generated the exact amount of money she wanted. That's what happens when you unleash this stuff. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So I just wanted to show you, and we're going to wrap up in a minute. And I thank you all for being here. It's been just fabulous. I would love to hear, like, if you guys want to, I'm just going to open the lines. I want to hear your big takeaways. But I want to hear first if you have any questions. So the goal of this call, number one, was basically to say, there's hope. If you, like Beautiful Liz, who has had lots of coaching, lots of mentoring, has a great product, still not getting the results you want, I could probably show you why not, right? I can show you the places, because there's another reason that you just aren't. Nobody looks at energy and emotions. Most people go, my list isn't big enough. Oh, it's my message. Oh, I need a new website. Oh, I got to get a headshot. And those are all good until they don't work for you, right? So my goal is to give you hope. It's just, I always want to give hope. I always want to say, there, I guarantee you we can get you there, but you got to be looking in the right area. All right. And so again, if you're interested in working with me, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I don't shame. I'm not hardliner. We'll have fun. You go to meetwiththerese.com and you click on the connections call. It will be a delight to have a conversation with you. We can talk about what's possible. We can make it work. All right. So my ladies on the call, first of all, thank you for your presence. So any questions? Number one, any questions? And if you're watching this later, shoot me an email. Like what questions did you have? Like what came up for you as we were doing this work? Did anything get surfaced in your head? Did you have any new awarenesses? I would love to know how I contributed by what I'm teaching today. So my ladies on the line, any questions? Number one. And number two, what were your top takeaways? I would love to hear that from you while I have a still swig of water. Takeaways?
Well, I'll say that this was amazing. This was a big surprise. And I felt compelled to be on this call. Like I had someone pushing behind me. You must make this call. And so I'm really, really glad that I listened to my intuition or my angels or whoever it is, my cat Peter, come on, Mom, go.
Yeah.
So my takeaway is I fully believe in what it is that you're doing. I do believe there are things that hold me back that aren't either mine to carry or that are old wounds that resurface again and again to keep me small, to keep me down.
Yeah. And props to you. You did some damn good work. So just
Thank you.
so much love. And do me a favor, keep me posted. Like, let me know later today and tomorrow how you are. Because this is like life, right? As they say, drink lots of water, take an Epsom salt bath, all the stuff. Really be gentle. Really be gentle. Okay.
Okay.
Proud of you. That was fabulous work today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Sure. Anybody else want to share takeaways? Carla said, thank you so much. I've been working with the issues as Liz does the work and feeling it deeply. So thank you, Teresa. Maybe Liz, she had to go to work. Anything else? Any takeaways? Okay, if you're talking, you're on mute, honey. We can't hear you. No? Okay. All right, Leah. There she is.
Hey, I'm here. I really thank you, Liz, for being our example today, because I'm totally feeling like all of the things that you had said. I think, Therese, having worked with you previously, which was such a wonderful experience, it was a really great reminder to come back to what I know and to work those things and not give up and not give in to right?
Beautiful.
That say otherwise, right? Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so glad. That's so great. That makes me happy. I'm so glad you got that. All righty. So I think we're going to wrap up. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to message me. If you're interested in working with me or talking about working with me, remember meetwiththerese.com / well, no, just meetwiththerese.com. Connection call. All right. Much love. Thanks for your time and energy. Bye now.
Bye. Thank